Concept 6, Chart Object. Now that we have a chart, we're ready to dig in and play around with it a little bit. So we're going to point to our chart, click on it, and we'll find that we get a movement cursor. And I'm going to drag it up so that it fits right next to my table here, and then I'm going to stretch it out so it's just as large as well. So it should end up looking something like that. I'm going to click the More button in the Chart Layouts group of the Chart Tools Design tab. So now that I have a chart, you'll see that I have 3 new tabs: Design, Layout, and Format. And we want to be in the Design tab, and we're going to go to More Layouts. Here we have some layouts. Here we have more layouts. And as you run your cursor over them, you'll note we don't have a live preview for this, but we're going to choose layout number 10. This one right here. When we click on that, you'll see that it has added in data labels for us. And made our columns perhaps slightly wider. Once we've done that, we're going to come up into a style, and we're going to go to our More Styles button here. And we're going to end up choosing style 38. And once again, couldn't care less which one you choose, whatever you like. Once you've chosen a style, we're going to open up our Layout tab. And in the Labels group, we're going to click on Axes Titles. And we're going to choose a horizontal axis. And we're going to choose to display the title below the axes. And this will give us a spot to insert our own title. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to call this one Months. After we've done that, we are going to come back up and click on Axes Titles again, this time with the vertical axes. And we're going to choose a vertical title, and we'll call this one Total Sales. And then we can click outside of it to deselect it. However, this is not necessarily the best looking way, so we're going to come back up to Axes Titles and back into our vertical axis title and choose something else. This time we're going to choose Rotated, and you'll see that it gives us the same total sales except rotated this way. Then we're going to come up and choose Legend, and we're going to turn off our legend. As you can see, we only have one item in our legend, and when you only have one item, it's not needed. And it makes the chart look a little bit better. So some quick modifications using our Chart Layout tab. Next, we're going to come up to our title, and we're going to come in here and change the title to Downtown Internet Cafe Sales. So we're going to get rid of total and call it Downtown Internet Cafe Sales. There we go. We're going to change the font size of this by right-clicking on it, opening up our drop-down menu. We're going to change the font size to 16. A little bit smaller. We're going to make the color turquoise. Once we've done that, we're going to open up our Chart Tools Design tab. And we have to have our chart selected. And we're going to go to Move Chart. And it's the only item in the location group. It's at the very end. And what this does is we can choose whether or not it exists as an object, such as it is now in a sheet, or if we want to make it its own sheet. And we're going to make it its own sheet. And we'll click OK. And what that does is you can see it turns the whole chart into one sheet. So if we wanted to print it off, it would be nice and large and be easy for people to be able to read and see. After we've done that, we're going to come back down here and switch back to sheet 1. And we're going to make another chart. So we're going to select A9 through D14. So A9 through D14. And we're going to open up our Insert tab. And this time we're going to make a column 3D cluster chart. And it should pop in and look like this. Once we've done this though, we're going to switch it around a little bit because this doesn't look quite right. So we're going to make sure we have our chart selected and that we are in the Design tab, and we're going to click on the Switch Row and Column button found in the Data group. And what this does is it switches us and says, hey, do we want the months to be what's charted, or do we want the items to be charted? And obviously, if we chart them by months, it gives us a better effect. So that's what we're going to choose. Once we've done that, we're going to change the chart style to Style 18, or again, pick any one that you like. And I'm going to change it to layout number 9. I'm going to replace the axes title with months. Change this one to sales and the title to sales forecast. And the title to sales forecast. Then we're going to move this so it covers cells F2 through L15. Once we've done that, we may decide that we need to change some of this data, and we can always do that. We're going to come up here to the Select Data button in the Data group. When we click on that, it'll show us, here's the different data that we have in our chart. And we're going to select the merchandise series and click Remove. And we're going to choose the computer series and click Remove. After we've done that, we can hit OK. And you'll see that now we're only charting espresso, drip coffee, and food and beverage. And merchandise and computer have been left out. Now we're going to try changing our chart type. And that can again be found in the Design tab in the Change Chart Type area. And you click this up and it'll open the same menu that you may be familiar with from the past. And it tells us to choose on a line chart here. And click OK. And we can see that some charts are not equal to others. So we're going to change chart type again. And this time we're going to try a clustered 3D bar. This one right here. And we're going to hit OK. And you can see this one would probably work. We'll change it again. We're going to choose a stacked area chart, which I think is this one. And I have no idea at what point in time a stacked area chart would be good, but not here. So we're going to change our type one more time, and we're going to choose the stacked 3D column and click OK. There's another interesting way to look at it. And finally, we're going to change it one last time to choose the clustered cylinders. And we'll click OK. Once you've done that, your chart should look something like this. And the last thing we're going to do is move our legend down to the bottom. And you'll do that in the Layout tab. In the Labels group where legend is, and we're going to go to Show Legend at the bottom. And then you can save your document.